Very good Tulsa team coming in here. Us and them both tough losses in the first game, so I know there'll be two, hungry teams getting ready to play in both of our second conference game tomorrow. But really good team that poses a lot of challenges for us.
How much have they grown over last year? But obviously a lot of off-season additions. How much have they kind of changed since then?
Yeah, I think a lot like us, they're a totally different team. Just a different team, and I know Coach Conkle well, and I have so much respect for him as a coach and what he's doing. I mean, we're in a lot of a similar boat in terms of last year, this year, our first years. In terms of this program, obviously he has great experience as a head coach prior, but in terms of their team this year, I mean, they're a different team. We're a different team, no doubt about it.
What are some of the things they do really well?
Number one, defensively, they're very good. I mean, they hold teams to under 40%. From the field. They guard the three-point line very well. They force a lot of turnovers, very high in steal percentage, and they convert on those turnovers, especially Williams and Haggerty getting out, and steal percentage is very high for those guys. So their defense creates offense for them. They keep teams at a low field goal percentage, and then they are as good as we've seen all year getting to the free throw line. I mean, they have made 4 less free throws on the season than their opponents have taken, 242 to 246, which is incredible. They're scoring 19 points a game from the free throw line at 73%. So very good team getting to the free throw line, converting, making free throws, and that puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
You had a tough game Tuesday night, good quality opponent. And even though you lost, what positives can you take away from that?
Probably the biggest thing is that for 36, 37 minutes in terms of executing game plan, we put ourselves in position, to win the game. I mean, not just to be. We weren't in position to be in position. It was a 2-point game with under 4 to go, and so the game plan, what we tried to do, I think that's a positive, is that we were able to do that on both sides of the ball. I mean, we had a specific game plan going into that game versus in one of the best teams in the country on the road in the conference opener, and I thought we stood in the center of the ring and did that. Now, we were not able to complete the job, so to speak. We were not able to finish strong, and whatever it may be. And I think at the end of the game, you got to take care of the ball. You got to put the ball in the basket sometimes at the end of the game. And I thought FAU did a better job of those two things in particular in the last 4 minutes.
Obviously, your team kind of struggled there in the early part of December with a lot of fouls. It seems like they've cleaned that up here in the last 2 or 3 games. You mentioned they attempt a lot of free throws. How do you feel like your team has grown when it comes to disciplinary defense?
Well, it's like after most games, you guys ask me, hey, this was a weakness. What are you guys doing to get better? And it's like I always tell you guys, we're going to work on it every day. And I mean, you go through a season, there's going to be parts. Every coach would tell you, we're struggling in this area right now. We got to put an emphasis on it. Or this area, we're doing well. We can't lose this. And so we work every day and put a lot of premium on not fouling in practice. I mean, some of those late fouls and some of those, put your hand in the cookie jar late. And we talked about that literally in a press conference after a game. I mean, things like that are big. And it's just the continuing understanding of players that the difference between good defense and finishing a possession versus solid defense and bailing a team out. Now, you could do everything perfect, and Haggerty will make a tough shot tomorrow, and Williams will make a tough shot, and Garcia they're good players. But if you bail them out because you reach down or you get out of position late in the possession, that's on us, and we've worked on it or tried to work on it.
Coach, y'all played 3 really good teams in Florida, South Carolina, FAU now. Y'all basically gone toe-to-toe with them. Maybe not get the win, but how do y'all take that intensity and get the guys to do that every single game regardless of the opponent?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I really don't think it's an intensity thing because I spend 2.5 hours with these guys every day. I know what intensity looks like, and it's not that. In the end of the day, there's something that comes with, at the end of those games, our guys, this program, believing we can win those games. And I think if we can get over the hump in some of those games, but I think every game is like that. So I don't look at it like there's a difference in how we're playing. I think we play well in those games. We didn't play well in other games, but I don't think it's because of the opponent. I really don't. I think that's our guys understanding that those same execution details are important whether you're playing the number 1 team in the country or you're playing in an exhibition game. Because if I was allowed to talk about scrimmages here or talk about games like that, we played equally as well in those games as we did in some other games. So there's a maturity piece. I think that's the biggest thing. There's a maturity piece that players have to understand, that this isn't the NBA. You don't get 85, 90 games. You have 31 games you're guaranteed. Every single game must be played the same way, no matter who you're playing against. And, you know, I think we're getting there, but it is frustrating. There's no doubt about it, you know, Stephen, that I'm not happy with where we are. Our players aren't happy with where we are. We don't like being 7-7. There's no doubt about it. But this is the process of basketball. November, December, hopefully we're getting better. I think we were better in December than we were in November. Based on our last game out, the results didn't show it. I think we're a better team in early January than we were in early December, and we have to continue this trend. But I wish it was just one thing that I could say, hey, that's why we're not the team we want to be. But this is an everyday process of multiple things, of multiple guys putting it together, and you know, at some point we're going to do it.
How's Quentin doing? Any chance he can bounce back, go tomorrow?
I don't want to ever rule somebody out, but you know, it was a pretty good spring. I mean, that was a good one. It was a huge play in the game, and it was a big spring.
And then I was going to ask about Jaden too. I mean, he was so key down the stretch last year. You know, are you trying to find a way to get him more involved? I know he's been a little banged up too.
It's solely that, or it's been his hamstring. It's nothing to do with anything else. It's been his hamstring. That's why he hasn't played the last few games. 100% we want him in there. We need him, and it really hurt us. It hurt us in the ETSU game. It hurt us not having him in the FAU game. I mean, I'm going to him during the game, and I know when someone can go and when they get in. It's just, this is also part of basketball, injuries and dealing with that, and guys stepping up. Thank you.